Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends. This is Dr. Charles, the Red Line. I come to you today, certainly with 15 minutes of time that I believe it will make a difference. I want to thank you. I certainly don't want to take anything for granted that you're listening at the sound of my voice, and I trust that these messages have made a positive difference, a transformation in your own life. And you know what? It's something about it. It's contagious. Whatever you pick up, you can spread the wealth. You can spread the good news and make a difference in someone else's life as well. You know, I'm here to inspire you to continue. That is, to challenge yourself in your own personal leadership growth. And so I've talked about this before, a book that I've read by my mentor, Mr. Maxwell, and one of his latest books, Failing Forward. You've heard of it. I'm sure those of you that have been reading his books, have been inspired. And when we talk about failing, you know, a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but trust me, keep living and you will discover failure. You'll discover failing. And it's just inevitable that you're going to experience failure. But in failing in this book, it's all about what do you do with failure? And are you getting yourself back up? And are you learning from the mistakes in life? You know, my eyes were open when I heard John Maxwell say this. You know, people tend to say, live and learn. And, you know, it just became a cliche. And people would say, I'm just living and learning. And he turned it around one day in one of his conferences and speaking. He says, no, we've got to learn and live. And that is so important because in today, the mistakes we make, we're going to make them. But then the key is learning from them and what is it that we would do different. But, you know, failure can sometimes paralyze people and, well, they'll never try again because it hurt so bad or it bankrupt them, not only materially, financially, but just mentally in their minds. They stop trying. But we have people such as myself who is going to encourage you, try again. Keep trying again. I've been living a life of try again. And my theme, as you've heard me say, never, never, ever give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. For the time that you have on this space and time on this earth, we're going to live it to the fullest. We're going to be a bright sunshine, shining light that brings positivity to a world of darkness and to be able to be difference makers. John Killinger, he said this. He said, failure is the greatest opportunity I have to know who I really am. Because it truly is an opportunity to find out who you really are. Because you will do an interview of yourself and you will look within yourself and you will examine what went wrong and what could be better or what could be done differently. You know, sometimes great achievement can come only as a result of a period of failure. And that failure, it helps us, it helps you, it helps me, it helps us to understand who we really are. And some people will fight, some people will flight. Some people will challenge themselves to try again. And they'll take the initiative. And many of people who have faced tragedy, have faced suffering and failure, they tried and they tried again. And maybe sometimes there's been a space of time where they just took a time out. That's okay. But they got back on the road of life and they tried again. And sometimes we could be doing a good thing, but not necessarily the right thing. Because someone may have said to you, you would make a great so-and-so. But deep down in your heart, you feel that you're gravitating to something that's altogether different. But because someone said it and it sounded like a great ideal, you decided to try it, and perhaps you failed at it. And then you realize that let me do what I know I can do and what comes easy for me and what I just gravitate to. And that's so important, because if you're continuously experiencing trouble or experiencing failure or facing obstacles, then this is what you should do. You should check to make sure that you're not the problem. I'm talking about me, the man or the woman in the mirror, that we may be the problem because we haven't sorted out what we should be doing or could be doing that will make a difference. Someone said this. He says, we can change our whole life and the attitude of people around us by simply changing ourselves. Sometimes we just simply have to do a redo. And I think about early on, I've always been in the corporate scene, or corporate America, they call it. And then also I've gotten involved on the ministerial side in Christian education, discipleship ministry, youth pastor, working with people and making the transition of thinking that how is it that I can do both? They seem to be separate. And it seemed like I was wearing two hats, one in corporate America and one under the church education and discipleship. But I realized that they go hand in hand. I may not be calling for a prayer line in corporate America, whereas I might in the church, but I see that they parallel like a triangle and they come to a point. And so today, years later, I'm able to speak along the lines of corporate America and along the lines of the church community. And I make no apologies about it, because both of them have helped me along the way to be a difference maker and to pour into others in some form or fashion, and hopefully in a positive way. As I've said, someone said this, I said again, we can change a whole life and the attitude of people around us by simply changing ourselves. Because the key message here today is that you and me and all the others, we can reach our potential if we do this. If we dedicate ourselves to continuous growth. Remember, to change your world, you must change yourself. To change my world, I must change myself. Why are people, the question today, why are people so hesitant to change? Well, perhaps they believe they're supposed to pursue a particular course of action for some reason, even though it doesn't suit their gifts and it doesn't suit their talent. And when they are not working in the areas of strength, they do poorly. Others are not self-aware and don't even know what their strengths are. And that's why it's important to discover and uncover, what are we here on this earth for? What is it that you uniquely have that you can share and that you can pour into others? And people today, no matter if you're 8 years old or 80 years old, if you haven't discovered your purpose while the time that you have left, discover it now and make the change and gravitate to that which pleases you, that gives you passion, that someone said that you would do it for free, but because you do it so well, people will pay you to do it. You know, I want to say this here too. Let's expand our horizons. Let's expand our thinking. Let's expand on to something that we're really good at, no one ever achieved his or her dreams working outside of their area of gifting to excel to do what they do well. If you're not happy, you've heard this, someone said it before, if you're not happy with your current job, your current situation, if you're not happy in your family situation, or you're just not generally happy with life, then look first at what you can change within yourself before trying to alter the circumstances. And recognize this, not realizing what you want is a problem of knowledge. Not pursuing what you want is a problem of motivation. Not achieving what you want is a problem of persistence. So let's grab a hold of these things, because if you know, my friends, if you know who you are, make the changes you must in order to learn, in order to grow, and then give everything you've got to your dreams. You know, that resonates with me because people say, well, have you thought about when you're going to retire and when you're going to give up corporate America? I think about life and I think about moving forward. And I've been telling people here this year lately, I says, look, I'm not thinking about retirement because I am just going to continue to blaze away, not wilt away. And I've said this before, I plan to die empty of everything that I have to give, of every gift that I've been given, every encouraging word that I have to say. I plan to say it and share it because I am changing each and every day, hopefully, prayerfully, for the better, and I realize that a change starts with me, and then I'm able to become a world changer. I like to close out this conversation and this inspirational word that I hope has blessed you today. Sam Peoples, he said this. He said, the circumstances of life, the events of life, and the people around me in life, they do not make me the way I am, but they simply reveal the way I am. My friends, take some time this week. Start today. Take some time to discover who you are by examining your weaknesses and examining your strengths. We all have them. I'm still struggling sometimes with things that I would like to get better at and to do more, but I'm continue to chipping away at it and working on it and building on it so that I can be that much more better. Because at the end of the day, don't let the failure from the outside ever get on the inside. Say goodbye to yesterday and renew your personal journey. We've been talking about failing forward. Read the book. It's been a blessing. I'm sure you will be blessed by it, but I just gave you an excerpt of what it means to fail forward and to examine your own self and make a change. Thank you for joining me on the Red Line. It's been my pleasure to share with you today, and I trust that you got something out of this. Now, let's go back to work today, and let's make it a great day, a great week, because you can make all the difference wherever you serve. God bless you. Until next time, this is Dr. Charles.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.